Derry has always been a town where nightmares feed on silence, where tragedies are forgotten until they repeat themselves, and where nothing stays buried for long. But in It, Welcome to Derry, the most horrifying revelation isn't a cosmic spider god in clown makeup. It's a human being, a woman who was never supposed to survive the town's curse, yet somehow became its most faithful servant. Her name is Ingrid Kersh, though once upon a time, she was Ingred Gray, and long before she became the unsettling old woman Beverly Marsh would meet in It, Chapter 2, she was something even more haunting. She was Periwinkle, the first clown whoever willingly walked into Pennywise's shadow. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. This is the full story of Periwinkle, pieced together through flashbacks, fragments, and moments of confession. It is a story of love twisted into obsession, of childhood laughter rotted by cosmic malice, and of a girl who never stopped believing her father would come home, even after the universe itself told her otherwise.
Hello, Mabel?
The beginning of Ingred Gray. To understand Ingrid Kersh, you have to begin with her birth, late 1890s, at the height of Derry's industrial boom. The lumber mills roared day and night. The ironworks belched smoke into the sky. Money flowed, families multiplied, and somewhere in the middle of this chaos came a baby girl with bright eyes and a last name that would one day haunt the town's history, Gray. Her father, Bob Gray, was not a monster, not a killer, not a supernatural entity hiding behind painted smiles. He was a performer, a traveling clown and vaudeville act who brought color and laughter to rural Maine long before movies or radio could. Bob Gray didn't invent Pennywise the clown as a mask. Pennywise was his livelihood, his craft, and, most importantly, a dream he wanted to share with his daughter. Little Ingrid grew up backstage. She learned makeup not from horror, but from love. The smell of grease paint, the sting of stage lights, and the sound of applause were as normal to her as toys or bedtime stories are to other children. The circus wasn't her playground. It was her home. She never wanted anything more than her father's attention, and Bob gave it freely, which makes everything that followed so much worse. The birth of Periwinkle. Around Easter 1908, Ingrid was 10 or 11. That's when the father-daughter act began. Bob Gray was Pennywise, larger than life, jangling with bells and red buttons. Ingrid became Periwinkle, his tiny pastel counterpart. Soft blue ruffles, pink trim, a teardrop painted under one eye, and a bell-tipped hat that jingled when she laughed. Photographs seen in episode 6 capture the moment forever, as Bob hoists Ingrid into the air as Periwinkle waves to a cheering crowd. For Derry, this wasn't horror, it was joy. Real joy. The kind people cling to because it proves the world might be kinder than it seems. For a brief moment, the clown wasn't a monster. It was a father's gift to his daughter.
Open the door and let me in.
The first great tragedy. But Derry is not a town that allows happiness to last long. Later that same year, the town was shaken by the Kitchener Ironworks disaster, an explosion that killed over 100 workers and children. Among the missing was Bob Gray. Newspapers listed him as a casualty. The town moved on, but Ingrid never did. Because Bob didn't just die, something took him. This is where the mythology of Pennywise and the tragedy of Ingrid collide. The cosmic entity sleeping beneath Derry, the one that would later use the Pennywise identity, noticed Bob Gray. It saw his clown persona like a beautifully wrapped invitation, and when the ironworks disaster occurred, it took Bob, used his face, spoke with his voice, and left something behind. Not a body, but a message. Ingrid, alone, terrified and grieving, encountered something wearing her father's voice, something that whispered a lie she spent her entire life believing. I'm not gone. I'm different now. One day I'll need your help to come back fully. You'll wait for me, won't you? That sentence became her religion. That moment became her crucifixion. The true horror isn't that Ingrid lost her father. It's that something made her believe he was still out there.
I know you don't understand, but you brought him back.
The long descent into devotion. By the 1930s, Ingrid was no longer a child. She was a woman in her 30s or 40s working at Juniper Hill Asylum, Derry's dumping ground for the mentally shattered. Many of these patients had witnessed Pennywise during the 1929 to 1935 killings, and Ingrid found herself surrounded by the broken and forgotten.
Most people working among the traumatized might eventually turn away, but Ingrid saw patterns. She listened. She recognized the same whispers she'd heard as a child, and so Periwinkle returned. Not the pastel, innocent clown of the fairs, but a cracked, decayed version of her childhood self. The silk was fraying. The makeup was smeared. The joy was gone. The costume had become a ritual garment. Ingrid didn't hunt victims. She selected offerings, children no one would miss, children who saw things adults couldn't, children who still believed. She led them into basements, tunnels, and shadows. She delivered them to the thing that spoke like her father. Every time Pennywise thanked her, using Bob's voice, Ingrid felt closer to her purpose, not a murderer, a daughter, fulfilling her promise.
Former. He called himself Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Marriage, the house, and the waiting. At some point in the 1950s, Ingrid married a man named Stanley Kersh. The marriage was not romantic. It was a mask, a way to blend into Derry, a way to keep watching the cycles. The house she lived in, the same pink house Beverly would visit decades later, sat almost directly above Pennywise's lair. Most residents of Derry didn't notice anything strange about it. Ingrid noticed everything. The house became a shrine, a cocoon, a place where memories curdled into obsession. Photographs of Bob Gray lined the walls. Periwinkle costumes hung like molted skins. The house was not haunted, it was preparing. 1962, the final reinvention. Welcome to Derry takes place during yet another cycle, and Ingrid, now in her 60s, has become an institution, not a myth, not a rumor, a presence. She stalks children, appears at cemeteries, playgrounds, and carnivals. Adults see a strange old woman in clown makeup. Kids see something much worse because children feel intention. Periwinkle isn't supernatural, and that's why she's terrifying. Pennywise lives in fear's metaphysics. Periwinkle lives in reality. She isn't a hallucination. She's proof that Pennywise doesn't have to act to cause harm anymore. A human can do it for him.
To see me once more as his Periwinkle. Remind him of the love that we...
The attic confrontation. Episode 6 reaches the breaking point when Lily stumbles into Ingrid's attic. The room is a shrine to madness and memory, clown costumes spanning half a century, photographs of Bob Gray, a vanity stained with the remnants of Periwinkle's painted face. Ingrid tells her everything. The story isn't delivered as a threat. It's a confession, a prayer, a desperate plea from a woman who never stopped being 10 years old, waiting for her father to walk through the door. She reveals the truth as she understands it. Pennywise is her father. Every sacrifice was to help him return. The fear she spreads is love, because that's how he knows I still remember him. The line isn't angry. It isn't manic. It's heartbreak, wearing clown paint.
A shadow would steal my father away.
The tragedy of Ingrid Kersh. Here is what makes her unlike any other villain. She has no supernatural powers, no shape-shifting, no deadlights, no ancient alien origin. Ingrid Kersh is terrifying because she represents something Pennywise alone could never be. A human soul willingly corrupted by grief. Pennywise feeds on fear. Ingrid feeds on faith. She is the one character who didn't break in Derry's cycle. She bent, and bending lasts longer.
Don't be scared. I can explain everything.
Why Periwinkle matters. Periwinkle completes a mythological puzzle Stephen King hinted at for decades. Pennywise didn't just invade Derry, it was invited. Bob Gray's clown persona didn't become Pennywise because the entity needed a disguise. It became Pennywise because Ingrid believed in it. The entity didn't erase Bob, it repurposed him. Periwinkle isn't Pennywise's servant, she is Pennywise's proof. Proof that a monster doesn't always need claws. Sometimes it just needs a memory.
Papa.
Where her story goes next. As of the latest episode, Ingrid has stepped fully back into Periwinkle. The black spot burns, children disappear. Storm drains run red, and somewhere beneath the town, something ancient whispers in Bob Gray's voice. There are only two ways this ends. Either Ingrid realizes the truth that her father died in 1908 and nothing has worn his skin since, or she dies believing the lie that has consumed her life. Both endings are tragic. Only one is merciful. Our nerdy thoughts. Periwinkle isn't a monster in the cosmic sense. She isn't it. She isn't the deadlights or the creature lurking under Derry. She is a far more dangerous concept, a human.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.